What the police found in Breckenridge, Colorado is beyond sick. Barbara, aka Bobby Joe, that was her nickname, had called her husband Jeff and told him that she had gotten an unexpected promotion and was in the mood to celebrate. As Jeff waited for Bobby Joe to come home that night, he sat on the couch in their family room, patiently watching the door. Some time passed, and then all of a sudden he woke up with a slight startle, and Bobby Joe still wasn't home. And so Jeff called the police, and right after that, Jeff started his own frantic search. Jeff spent the entire day searching, but he eventually had to just go home and wait things out. With the help of his friends, Jeff jumped into action and organized an even larger search party through the remote area between Breckenridge and Alma. And his friends were all trudging through these conditions for hours. And eventually Jeff decided he needed a quick little break, and so he stepped away for just a moment. And while he did this, the rest of the search party finally found something that stopped them cold. Jeff's friends had found his wife. And folks, this was not good news at all because, as I'm sure you guessed, she was dead. The day after Bobby Joe was found, another young woman was reported missing. Months passed in the search for Annette, and heartbreakingly, the case would end up going cold. But then, on July 3rd, a young boy was fishing near Sacramento Creek when all of a sudden he spotted something strange along the water's edge. Folks, this boy stumbled across the remains of Annette Schnee. Over the next 8 years, investigators worked tirelessly, but were having almost zero success in solving either one of these cases. And while this might seem like the end of the story, we now have to go all the way back to January 6th, 1982, when all of this started. And folks, this is where shit gets crazy. As a plane was flying up above the mountains, the pilots looked closer from the sky until they noticed some mysterious lights flashing in a tight, desperate rhythm. Crews did eventually reach the top of the pass, and they found a stranded truck that had ended up in a ditch with its headlights pointing straight up. Inside the truck, there was a man sitting there alone, cold, and panicking. And on the surface, this really seemed like a miracle rescue mission, right? Well, rescue crews had no idea just who exactly they had saved. They were staring directly into the face of a man named Alan Lee Phillips. So now we're gonna jump back forward in time to 2020, and we're gonna connect the dots. They combed through tons of data and searched file after file, hoping that they'd finally be able to crack this case that had stumped everyone for almost 40 years. And by the time that all of the numbers were crunched, the evidence led them back to one single person. And that person, of course, was Alan Lee Phillips. That's right. The scarred up man that was miraculously rescued in the snow was the culprit the entire time. And the craziest part of all of this might be the fact that Alan's rescue made the local newspaper, and they were printed right alongside of reports of Bobby Joe's body being discovered.